Welcome back, everyone. This is RL Breyer. If you don't know me, I've been in the crypto space since I found Bitcoin and read the white paper and began running a node in 2009. So right now, I'm pretty infatuated with the Bittensor ecosystem, and I'm trying to do my little part here in bringing a little bit of news each week about Bittensor. I'm spreading the gospel on X. My X is at rbrier23, and over on my Patreon .com/r RL where I put out a weekly newsletter I've been putting out for like the last 298 weeks. So if you want to join us over there for more content and stuff that I don't post on X, the full the full unveil too. But yeah, let's just get into it. I want to keep these videos rather short, under 10 minutes. So yeah, the dominant theme of the week was shipping. Just bear with me, I got a little bit of a cold here. Multiple subnets move from promises to live products, especially around compute. So let's just, before I forget here, go to the tab where I can share all of the information that I want to share with you guys today. Yep, this is the one. All right, so yeah, like I said, the dominant idea or the big thing this week was shipping, especially around compute, inference, training, efficiency, and specialized vision tasks. Official Open Tensor Foundation ecosystem highlights and community recaps align closely on these developments. So, at the protocol network level, Bittensor V437 introduced first-class miner collateral. Registration is now split, burn plus collateral. Collateral releases with emissions. Also added air-gapped signing, uh, slash Polkadot Vault support and related stake management tools. This was a pretty big deal that Cons talked about on a community call earlier in the week. This creates a new primitive for mechanisms that need capital at stake for miners. So let's get into the top subnet developments. Chutes pre-trained at 20 billion. Mix of experts model for under $10 an hour of compute. They didn't say how much it cost as far as I know, but the run used 8 single LV 40S's, virtual machines plus consumer GPUs scattered across 2 continents, coordinated with parallax, and approached the quality of models trained on high-end data center clusters. Strong demonstration uh, that affordable hardware can handle large-scale training. Here's the tweet about that. Sorry, I'm gonna keep up with these. So there's a little bit here about that from the BitTensor ecosystem highlights. So you can check that out over there at OpenTensor. And then moving on here, we have Targon. TargonOS launched live. It is the first permissionless compute network offering full VM rentals, virtual machine rentals rather than containers only. Rentable GPU, CPU, VMs with root access from day one, hardware-attested isolation, and then encrypted workloads, dedicated provision per customer workload, shift from earlier miner managed confidential virtual machines. If you want to learn more about this, go over to YouTube or X and listen to the recent community call that Const was on with Manifold Labs, and one of the founders of Targon. This turns Targon into a more traditional cloud-like experience with verifiable confidentiality backed by Intel hardware features. So yeah, check that out. Moving on here, Subnet 53 Engy went live serving frontier open models, including GLM 5.2 and Gwen variants with cryptographic verified inference. Users can verify that the exact requested model produced each answer rather than a cheaper substitute. Permissionless mining opened with rapid early GPU participation, hundreds of GPUs across consumer and pro cards, positioned as one of the cheapest verified frontier model inference options on the network. I'm still a big Subnet 4 owner. Targon is my big bag in the Subnet space. Not financial advice, but I like to see the competition to keep these guys pushing. Moving onward here, we move on to let's see, back to let's see. BitMind published a paper evaluating its continuously retraining forensics deepfake detector across 19 public benchmarks. It matched or beat the strongest published results with zero benchmark training, or excuse me, zero benchmark tuning, matched the best commercial image detector, and outperformed the leading commercial video detector on key tests. The system emerges from ongoing adversarial competition on the subnet. We move onward to Beam. I guess a lot of these are in the Open Tensor Foundation notes as well. But on to Beam, nearly ready to launch its data mesh, a decentralized bandwidth network connecting Cloudflare R2, Amazon S3, Hippias, and others for programmable terabyte scale data movement. 404 Gen. Yeah, a lot of these are pulling from the same recap. But 404 Gen, Subnet 17 advanced into its third form of 3D representation focused on procedural code with a new competition incoming aimed at large spatial models. Onward to Score. Score announced a new TCG trading card game grading private track. Miners will score cards, example Pokemon for front and back images against professional ace standards across 5 independent categories. I think this is actually pretty cool and could get score a lot of recognition out there in the trading card space, especially if they can draw the Pokemon crowd in a way. I think this is actually pretty brilliant and solid way to market the product. Other notable mentions. Actual Computer S Subnet 95 joined the NVIDIA Inception program with inference software optimized for the full consumer of Blackwell, including 5090s and Pro 6000. And Spark Synth Subnet 50 published a fine-tuned Chronos 2 report for financial forecasting and showed live validators scored ranking against hundreds of rival miners. Let's see here. Crucible Labs shipped a mobile TAO wallet with Bluetooth ledger support, native subnet swaps, and portfolio tracking. And I guess on a negative note, Oro attributed a wallet compromise, 147,000 alpha tokens to North Korean link group Sapphire Sleet, according to the notes here. So, yeah, I didn't personally see that reveal. And then I guess lastly here, we'll just talk real quickly about Ditto. Ditto is launching a secondary subnet or a second subnet. Which is going to be a two-headed monster. Ditto's two subnet architecture to combine persistent memory with high-speed inference. So that announcement came the other day here on the Open Tensor Foundation call that I was noting earlier. If you haven't listened to any of these community calls, you definitely should check it out. They're like featuring some of the best projects in the space on a seems like a weekly effort, or at least as far as I can tell, it's happening as much as possible. So yeah, there's a lot of alpha in those, and you get to actually hear from the people and see whether you like them or not, whether they're actually brilliant or they're just doing their best, and maybe you don't want to bet on them. Not Subnet 118 in particular, just any subnet. I actually have a bag of Ditto, so I like Ditto as well. It's my second largest subnet bag right now, second or third. So yeah, that's the weekly rundown on Subnet news. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Just real quickly on the market here to wrap up, Bitcoin's right under 65K. I could see it bouncing up here and maybe up to 69, and then I still anticipate a larger drop down to below 50,000, maybe before we find a bottom in 42, 45K. I think the low end is 38,000 maybe on Bitcoin, which would be like a 70% retrace from the top at 126080. And then yeah, Tao's trading under 200 still. So I said in my last video, I think, and I've been saying a lot on X, I think under $200. It's an easy 5X probably back to 1,000. Like I said, nothing I say or write or put out content wise is financial advice, but I think this is a high value area on a project I think has the potential to be a game changer in the tech space, AI times crypto future merger here that I think is probably going to be just Absolutely massive. I love Bittensor. I think this competition is amazing. So everybody have a good day.